Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, gamers and gamerettes. Welcome to the episode 1 of Factorio gameplay. So if you don't care about my gameplay, in this episode 1, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to get started in Factorio as a completely and utterly beginner. I made this video before a few years ago, and I didn't have like good equipment for recording. I wasn't using a camera, all of that good stuff, you know. So I'm gonna start a new game together, and there is a tutorial if you want to play it, but we're gonna go into free play because this is like the default intended way of playing Factorio. So it's like the default way of playing it. So without blabbing so much, we're gonna use everything as a default. There is the seed of the game, of the map that I'm gonna spawn in, so you could copy it if you want to spawn in the same map. And we're just gonna click play. I clicked E, which is play. You can press tab to skip the cutscene, but there's not really much here. Just your ship is on fire and exploding. So the idea here is that you were in space, your ship just got wrecked like that, and you crash landed into the stuff. So I don't care about anything else. The very first thing you want to do is you can zoom in and out of the game by using your scroll wheel, like that. You move around with WASD, so everything is normal. You want to come to here to your ship, just hover over it, and then if you see here on the right here, you can see that it has 8 magazines, which is ammo for your gun, which you don't have a gun yet, but you can just pick up the ammo right now. To do that, you want to hold right click, and you can see the bar bottom here, just filling until it is full, and then you are gonna click E to open your inventory. So you actually do spawn with a gun. I misspoke there. You do have a small gun, which is a handgun, like a pistol, and I just picked up the ammo for it. So here on the left, if you click E to open your inventory, you're gonna open like this is all of your inventory right here, and these are crafting things that you can craft in your inventory. So right now we do have a bunch of things, but we're not gonna worry about them. I'm actually gonna pick up all the broken parts right here. So these give you nothing but just to clean up, you know. Some of them is gonna give you ore, like iron, like what I picked up right now. So now I have an iron plate, which we can use. You can also click on left alt, and if you do that, you can see what every container contains. So for example, this container has 2 iron pieces. So we're gonna like hold right click on it and hold right click here as well, and these will be empty. So you can see it toggled here, which is called alt mode. So you can toggle it by left alt. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna click tab to open the menu, and what you want to look for are these 2 things. Now luckily they are right next to each other. So I have iron and coal right next to each other, and then I have stone and copper right here. So this is a wonderful starting area, like beautiful. We have all the basic resources that we need to get started right here and next to each other. So this is great. Now if you look here, this is a body of water, which we're also gonna need like some water here. By the way, if you have your map and then you zoom in, you're gonna like move from the map to your actual gameplay. So like just be careful about that. Now this is a body of water that we're gonna need, but not right now, but we're gonna need it later to have electricity to our base. All right, so the very first thing you want to do is you want to go and grab some iron, which is gonna be your most basic resource to do anything really. Like your iron is your resource that you're gonna use to do everything. So if you hover over it, you can see the max iron ore is 367k, which is pretty good for starting. And then you have maybe it's hard to see on the stream, but there is coal over here. You can see like the black carbon right here, which is coal. Okay, so you can also hover over it, and you can see we have 399,000 pieces of coal. Now you can see the red things over here. We're not going to worry about these, but these are enemies. We're not going to worry about them for now because there's like a decent distance between us. Okay, not very decent, but like good enough for now. So what you want to do first is you want to come over the coal, because you do want some coal in here, and then you are going to hold right click. When you do that, you can see that you are mining the coal manually. So let's get like a few pieces of coal right here. Okay, so when you get a few pieces of coal, you will have coal in your inventory. The next thing to do is to get some raw iron. So whenever you harvest the ore, you're gonna get it as iron ore. Now iron ore is not usable in its raw form, so it needs to be put in a furnace in order to be turned into iron plates. And the way to do that, you actually get started with this in your inventory. So I did not craft this. You actually get started with it. So right now you have a stone furnace. I'm going to click on it. So now it's attached to my cursor. I'm going to press E to close my inventory. The furnace is still attached to my cursor, and I'm going to place it by left clicking. Now you can see the icon here. It is requiring like fuel. Once you click on it, you are now in the stone furnace. You have your inventory on the left, and then you have the stone furnace right here. In here is going to be whatever you want to cook. So you can see here that is the ingredient. If you hold or not hold, if you just hover over it, you can see it has possible inputs: stone, iron, and copper. So I'm gonna drag my stone and just put it here. Now there will be a bunch of shortcuts that you'll see me doing. For example, if I hold shift and then left click on the iron ore, it's gonna automatically place it in here. Now the next thing that it needs is a fuel. So whenever you want to add fuel, you can have coal like that, but I don't want to add all of the coal. So I'm gonna right click on coal, and it's gonna split it in half, and then 3 pieces of coal is attached to my cursor. I'm gonna press in the fuel. Now once this works, you can see that now the furnace is cooking the iron ore and outputting it as iron plates. I'm gonna shift click on iron plates in order to stack them directly into my inventory right here. Alright, I'm gonna press E to close this, and I'm gonna let it cook. It's not gonna take a while because we only have a few pieces of ore, of iron. So this is good enough. So it already finished. Here's another quick tip. If you hold control and left click, you are gonna carry all the things that in the output of this furnace. So right now you can see we picked up all the iron that was in there. Okay, cool. Now let's actually, I'm gonna hold right click on the furnace to pick it up and pick up the coal that was inside of it. So it both picks up the item and whatever was inside of it from input and output and fuel. I'm gonna show you a cool trick right here, so start paying attention. This episode is gonna be full of tricks that you can use as a beginner to make things much better for you. You can see here that we can craft a burner mining drill. Now I want you to pay attention to this crafting part because it might get confusing as a beginner or as a first timer. If you look at the burner mining drill, you can see that the ingredients are 3 iron plates and then 3 iron gear, and it's written in yellow, and then 1 stone furnace. So we already have the stone furnace, we already have 3 iron plates, but we do not have 3 iron gear. So what's gonna happen is that if there's an item that you do not have in the item that you want to craft, so for example in this scenario we do not have the 3 iron gear wheel, I can still click on the mining drill, left click, and first is gonna make the iron gear wheel, like 3 of them, and then is gonna do the burning or the burner mining drill on its own. So you don't need to go and craft each separate item or each separate ingredient if it needs crafting. The game is gonna do that for you. Next, under that, you can see the crafting time is 2 seconds, like under the stone furnace. And then below that, you can see total raw. Now, the total raw means you need 9 total iron plates and 5 stone. Now, why do we need 9 iron plates, even though it says 3 on the top? That's because you are going to need iron plates in order to make the iron gear wheel, right? So in order to make the iron gear wheel, you need some iron, and that's why this is the total raw, including any items that you are going to craft in order to get to the recipe that you want to craft. So this is why it's written in yellow. This yellow text on the iron gear wheel means it will do it. They will be like crafted in order for this thing to be crafted. Okay. The next thing that we need is the stone, and of course you can see stone, it requires 5 because you're gonna need to make a stone furnace. Now since you already have a stone furnace in your inventory right here, it's not written in yellow, but see if I deploy this and then I hover over this, you can see now that stone furnace is actually printed in red, which means we cannot craft it because we do not have the raw ingredients in our inventory in order to craft it. Okay. you can see that the raw ingredients needed is 5 stone. So what you want to pay attention to if you want to craft something is usually just the total raw over here and what you're missing. So right now you see the red background behind stone. That means we are missing stone in order to be able to craft a stone furnace. And actually it does happen. We have a bunch of stone right here which we're gonna go grab. But also, I don't want to use the stone in my... well, actually, you know what? We found a big rock while we're on our way. So you can just hold right-click on this big rock and you're going to break it into stone. And you see we got 20 stone right here, which is more than enough, which is cool. Now, I didn't want to use my only stone furnace because I want to have stone furnace in my inventory because we're going to use it to cook the iron right here to get iron plates. Because iron plates is going to be used for every single thing that you have. Okay, now I'm going to make one more burner mining drill by clicking on it. And now you can see that it crafted the gear wheels. And now we have 2 burner mining drill. Now pay attention to this trick because it's going to blow your mind. Let me change my color here to something cool. Yeah, this is a cool color. I like that color. All right, so I want you to imagine the burner mining drill right here. You can see the yellow arrow that's right in front of it. This essentially points to the output direction. So the burner mining drill, what's it gonna do is whenever you put it on top of a resource like coal or iron or whatever, it's going to consume coal, which you can put inside of it, like similar to the furnace. And then whenever it has fuel, it's going to keep digging and then extracting the item that is, or the resource that it is sitting on. So it is equivalent to just you doing that on coal. But of course, instead of it storing it, it's gonna output it to wherever this yellow arrow is pointing. All right. Now here's the trick. Now I want you to pay attention. I'm gonna put a burner mining drill here, and then I'm gonna put another one there. So what I did here is create an infinite loop. This burner mining drill is going to extract coal and deposit it here. And this one is going to do the same and deposit it here. Okay, why is this? Isn't this stupid? Actually, no, this is pretty genius. I'll show you why. I'm gonna pick one piece of coal, or like 2. By holding shift and right clicking, it automatically deposits it. And now notice what's gonna happen. This one is gonna extract coal and put it here. And then this one is gonna extract coal and put it here. Now, I want you to notice we are gathering coal way faster than we're consuming one piece of coal, which means that these are infinite coal mining right now. So what we can do is they can store up to 1 stack. A stack is 64 of coal here. So each one of these is going to just autonomously work, consume the coal that it has been using, but it's gonna go until they both have 64 coal. Okay? So this is the very first trick that you are going to learn in this video. So keep paying attention because we're going to be talking about a lot of these. Okay. Now, in order to make another burner mining drill, we need to have 9 pieces of iron, which we don't have right now. Okay. I'm going to craft one more stone furnace, and then I'm going to put it here. I'm going to grab some iron, some raw iron, just enough to get the missing iron. So we need 4 and we have 4 pieces. I'm gonna put all of them and then watch my stone furnace cook. Let's go check on our stuff. As you can see here, we are stacking coal over here. I'm gonna pick all of them up, and remember the trick that I told you. Holding control and then left clicking is gonna collect all of the items that are in the thing that you clicked on. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to collect the iron here. And now I have 9 pieces of iron. I'm going to click on the burner mining drill in order to craft it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the burner mining drill mine mine iron and automatically deposit it into the furnace. Now look at this. Do you see how when I get close to the furnace, it has this white outline right here? That means that this item here is going to deposit automatically into this item. So right now, as long as both have fuel, this mining drill is going to keep digging for iron and deposit it automatically into the stone furnace. Which is what we're going to do. We're going to put 20 here and then 20 here. And now look, the furnace is going to automatically just start cooking right now because the drill is out in inputting some iron into it. Now you can see here that we are cooking, and the furnace is cooking the iron faster than the drill is inputting into it. So this could suggest that we could have two drills inputting into the same furnace. Let's actually try it out. Now I want you to understand that the game is mostly about optimizations and getting your factory to work as optimized as possible in order to get the maximum value out of your space, the space that you have, and out of the resources that you have. This is the idea of Factorio entirely. Just getting your factory to be optimized, okay? And there are a lot of complex things and a lot of awesome stuff that we will be building in Factorio together. Now I'm gonna wait for these. I keep controlling and left clicking in order to collect the iron, which is good. Now I'm gonna make another burner mining drill. And while I'm here, I'm gonna go collect the coal that these have collected. A stack is 50, not 64, I apologize. So you can stack up to 50 of coal. Now I have the burner mining drill. I'm gonna point it here. I want you to take a look at the expected resources here. Do you see how when I move the drill, the resources change? That means it is going to dig up to 657 out of the iron that is underneath it. But that's okay for now. So we're gonna put like half of the coal here. And then you can see now we are putting iron in much faster, and the furnace is always working. Alright, so you can see that eventually it's gonna jump to 3, and yeah, so now we are efficiently cooking iron at all times. Now you are going to need an insane amount of iron. So at the very start, I actually just start with 2 burners and then 1 furnace like that. So now in order to make 2 burners, we need 5 stone per each, so we need 10 stone, and we need 9 per one, so we need 18 iron total. So let's go grab some stone. Luckily we have some stone stuff here that we can grab. Also, these trees you can cut down to get wood, which we're gonna need wood, but not right now. And we're not gonna need a lot of wood, so that's fine. Now, eventually, as you like progress through the game, you're gonna unlock some upgrades and researches, which is fine. Right now, you can see that we have steam power, which means we can now make electricity using steam. But we're gonna get to this soon. So you're gonna, whenever you unlock some research, you're gonna unlock new items to craft, but we're not gonna talk about this for now. So I'm gonna make another mining drill. Actually, I need another one, which means I need more iron. I can just control click on my automated iron farmer. And there we go. We have 2 right now that we can start cooking immediately in. So here and here. Put coal and everywhere. Now I want you to understand why we put these automated coal farms, because you can see now, right now we have to do everything manually and fill the coal manually everywhere. But of course everything will be automated and everything is going to be awesome. Okay, so now let's actually go grab some more stone, and we are going to use that to get copper. Now copper is not very important early on until we want to get to electricity, because copper is going to be used to make the boilers. Sorry, not the boiler. It was used to make, I think, the wires. Oh, we don't even have it unlocked yet. That's okay though. Let's cut down these trees. So we can have some wood. That's okay. Let's grab, let's actually get rid of this tree. Now, do not go crazy on cutting every single tree you see at the beginning of the game, because actually the game gets harder the more trees you cut. And I'm gonna explain why it's that. But essentially just don't cut a lot of trees at the start, especially. So for for copper, I'm actually gonna use 1 and 1. I don't have any coal though, so I'm gonna go to my coal farm and grab some coal like this. So here and here. And we're gonna let him cook. Now we might need to also automate some stone, and I'll show you how we can do that. The stone we need is actually raw stone, so we don't want the stone to be cooked, so we're not gonna put it in a furnace. But instead, we are going to put it in a chest. And I'll show you how we can do that. Let's gather 5 pieces of stone. Alright, so let's grab this, so craft this, and then you can see we can craft an iron chest. Now, also a wooden chest, which actually we might, like, just use a wooden chest for now. So what is this going to do? I'm going to deploy the chest anywhere, or like put it on the ground, and then I'm gonna put the burner, or the drill, so that it deposits its items into the chest. And yes, this is going to work. So now we don't have coal, so we're gonna go back and grab coal. And now since we have electronics finished, we should have copper already. And yes, so you can see the electric pole. This is how we're gonna move electricity around. I'll show you this when we get to it. I know the game might be a little bit dark right now because we're at night, but we're gonna fix this later. Yeah, so here we don't need a bunch. Like I could just put 8 pieces of coal and just get some stone in here in case I ever need it again. So yeah, you can see here that the drill is drilling for stone and is gonna store it in the chest here. Let's grab some copper right here. We are cooking some copper pretty well. And let's go grab some stone that some iron that we're gonna use a lot of. You can see we have unlocked the lab. We're gonna talk about lab in a sec. And we unlocked armor. Now, crafting armor is really important, so I'm gonna craft light armor as soon as I can. You can see the armor gives me resistances, 20% acid, 20% or 2 out of 20% explosion, 10% fire, and 3% or 3 out of 20% physical. Okay. So armor is important. Now I've come here to the water area. Let's first clear this area, because to get started with electricity, we are going to need some water. And okay, so we're gonna need some stone in order to get the water running, and luckily we do have an automated stone farm right here. Cool. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna build the offshore pump, or craft it, not build it. I'm then gonna grab a boiler and I'm gonna grab a steam engine. You can, by the way, queue stuff to craft, so you just keep clicking, don't worry about it. And then I'm gonna grab some poles right here. So I'm gonna hold shift and then left click in order to craft everything that I can craft with the current items that I have in my inventory. So that way I don't have to just keep clicking. Okay. So right now you can see it's crafting a lot of copper wires using copper plates. And after that it's gonna get to crafting the poles. So while we're waiting, you can start doing electricity by using an offshore pump, and then you can see that the little green markers right here. So these markers mean you can put an offshore pump right here. So what is it gonna do is essentially it's a pump that you put it in water. It's gonna suck up water and move it somewhere. I'll tell you what this somewhere is, but first let's build some pipes because we are going to use some pipes. You don't have to, but I just like to add some pipes in there just to add some spacing in my buildings. Okay, so you can see the pipes here has water. You can see this icon here, which means water that is flowing through it. And you can see the blue here, which is essentially the pipe, the water in the pipe. Now, since we have water I was going to say walking. We have water flowing in the pipes. We are going to put the boiler right now. So what the boiler is going to do is it's going to get the water in the that's coming from the pipe right here and then produce steam. Okay, but what I want to do actually is I want to put some more pipes right like here, so that way we give more space to our boiler. Okay, so you can look at the boiler here. It has 2 inputs, like one on the left and one on the right. I tried to point to the screen again. So one on the left and one on the right, like here. And then at the top here, you can see that at the top there's the steam icon. Okay, So the steam icon here, it means that the steam is going to come out this way from the top, and then from both sides is going to be the water flowing. I'll tell you why this is important. So once we put this here, we now have steam coming out this way. I'm going to use one pipe just to give it some space, and then I'm going to put a steam engine right here. And now you can see that the steam engine is not connected to any kind of electrical poles, and that way there is no like it's not moving electricity anywhere. Now I'm gonna take the small electric pole and I'm actually gonna add it on my hotbar right here. What this does is I can now press 3, and when I press 3 I automatically select the poles that are in my inventory. That way I don't have to go to my inventory. So this is like your hotbar. If you press X, you're gonna move 1 and 2 like up and down. So now I can press X and then like I can use 1 to 9 on this bottom bar, and then X again to use the bar above. Okay, so you can see here that the electric pole has like a range, or like an AoE, an area of effect, that blue color around it, and whenever you put it next to the steam engine, you can see it has this blue outline. So now that I have these, you can see the wire connecting the 2 poles. That means I cannot put the pole here, but I have to put it where the wires connect. Okay, now anything that needs electricity, it has to be put in this blue area around the pole in order for it to be connected to electricity. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk. I think I misaligned that. Aligning doesn't do anything. It just looks pretty. So right here, like that, like that, like that. So I'm just gonna bring this back to my base essentially. So we can zoom out here just to see we're walking in the right direction, and we are super good. Okay, so we brought it here, so we could put one for the copper, or sorry, for the coal. Now you see these two have stopped working because you can see on red at the right here that the target is full. You can see it like around here. Okay, so target full, that means both of them have the max stack of coal and they cannot accept anymore. Now you can see here that the max stack of iron is 100. So this is why both of these have stopped, and now we have a bunch of iron. Probably coal as well as copper. Oh, we ran out of coal right here. Let's put that in here. Let's actually give him some more. Okay. So we don't need any more. Actually, we do. Let's just collect these coal. We're gonna need a bunch of it. Now we do have the electricity right flowing through here, but actually not right. You can see here, if you click on that, the electric network info, there is no electricity at all. There's no production at all. And whenever you hover over the pole, you can see the electricity bar here is empty. This is because the steam, not the steam engine, but rather the boiler needs fuel in order to work. And now whenever I put coal in it, you can see now that it's starting to produce electricity. And whenever you hover over any electric pole, you can see the electricity bar is full. And whenever I click here now, you can see the production is still at 0. That's because actually there is no anything that is using electricity essentially, because we don't have any building or any product that is using electricity, which is fine. Trigger technology is gonna be, oh yeah, the trigger technology. I'm gonna tell you what this is in a sec. Okay, so there's nothing here that uses electricity that I can demonstrate right now. There's only the lab, which I don't want to get into right now. Okay, let's get into another thing. Now we know that the boiler is going to need fuel. Now it doesn't make sense that we will be coming here every now and then in order to put some fuel into it. So we need some way of moving copper I keep mixing copper and coal for some reason. I don't know why. I never did that. So we need some way to make coal come from our like mine into the boiler. And the way to do that is to build transport belts. Now, transport belts is going to be the thing that you're going to build the most of, and it is one of the biggest reasons, one of the main reasons why you need a lot of iron, an insane amount of iron. Okay? So this is why you will be building a lot of, or like getting a lot of iron. Now, the way we're going to do that is that we are going to build a bunch of transport belts, and then we're going to make some miners, move coal from here to here. Okay? I'll show you how we can do that in a second. Let's just wait for things to start crafting. So right now we are building these. I'm gonna put these and move it to 1 because literally clicking 1 just gives me the transport belts. Now you can see the belt has a direction with the little arrows on it. If you press R, you can rotate it in all 4 directions. Okay, so looking at the design of this, I'll make the like the belt walk along the poles right here just for an aesthetic reason, nothing more. You can just make it, you could design anything however you want. Now what I like to do is actually do it in reverse. So I want to start from the end location where I want to get stuff to, and then move it from there. Now we're gonna put one step or one space away from the steamer, and the reason for that is this: I'm going to build a burner inserter, and I'm going to show you what the inserter does. Essentially, the inserter is going to take stuff from somewhere and add it to somewhere else. So we are going to use this in order. Do you see the yellow icon or the yellow arrow? The yellow arrow is always the output. So where do you want to take stuff to? So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to point the yellow arrow to the boiler, and then you can see the white line around here. That means it's going to pick items from this piece of the build. Okay, so once I put that, now burner inserters actually need to take or consume coal themselves. There's another type of inserter just called inserter, but this one uses electricity, and you can see below here under inserter it says consumes electricity. Now I don't care about the inserters here using electricity, or I don't mind using the burner ones because the build itself is going to be transporting coal. So I don't care if this is using coal. It's going to be using very, very little, like 1 piece per however many moves. So the cost of it is very negligible, and we are already moving coal. So it makes sense here to use a burner inserter. Okay? I'm going to show you another trick that I was saving for you. Now, there is a reason why this still has water walking out of it, because we can put actually another boiler right here. We cannot make a steam engine, unfortunately, but we essentially can put another boiler right here, and then using that we could add another burner inserter right here, and that way let's by the way, if you put it wrong the same way I did right now, you can hover over it and just press R. You don't need to pick it up and rotate it and stuff. If you press R on it, it's gonna rotate in place. Okay, there's a lot to talk about, so I'm trying to give as much information as possible, so stay with me here. So right now we actually have this, but it's not connected to a steam engine yet because we cannot build one yet because we are missing iron. You can see here that the total raw missing is 11 iron, but that's okay. So we can now build this and have another steam engine, and we're gonna have more electricity production. Okay, the water is still strong enough in order to be in order to provide like enough water for this to turn it into steam. All right, we're not gonna bother about this for now, but you can just see how we are having this stuff right now. Now we're gonna move this all the way to here. And the way we can do that, I'm gonna put it on top like that, but there's a gap here. So if you press R in order to make it look like that, it's gonna fill the gap right here, okay? So we can do this, and then we're just gonna make it over here, okay? And next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the burner mining drill. We're gonna use a bunch of these in order to keep drilling for coal. Now we are missing a lot of iron, so let's pick up some iron from here. I didn't mean to pick up the coal. We are missing some coal here, coal here. What are you doing? You are full. We should check on our... We should check on our copper production. But that's okay, I guess, for now. So let's grab one burner miner as well. And then you can see here that you can put it on top of the coal. I just put it at the expected resource being a high number. And now these themselves need coal to function. And this is like a quite a dilemma. But I'll show you how we can fix that later. For now, I'm just gonna put coal in them. And then when they're digging, you're gonna see some coal starts popping up on the belt right here. And then you can actually run on the belt for like an insane speed boost. So you can see we're running like super fast here. And we're gonna wait here actually. I can build a steam engine right now because we did get the iron that we need. And I'm gonna put it here. Oh, we put it one higher. It doesn't matter, by the way. It does not matter. I just want to, like, for the looks of it. So now these are on the same level. Okay, cool. Now we're gonna wait for some iron. For some coal, not copper and not iron, to come on this belt. I want you to take a look at what the inserter is going to do. Boom. Yoink. It yoinked it into itself. And then it's putting it inside of here, and then you can see this one already has coal. That's why it is not using it. But then you can see this one is... I actually don't know why this one is even burning. Like, we don't have anything that is consuming stuff. Oh, that's why. So it was just filling the steam engine with steam. That's why. Yeah. So once it filled the steam like to its maximum, it stopped like producing or like consuming coal in order to produce steam. But yeah, essentially you can see now we automated our very first thing by sending coal. It's not really fully automated yet, but it is so close like to getting there. Now, you can see that coal is starting to stack up here, and this is good. Whenever the belt has no more space for items, let's actually grab this stone while we're here. I mean, why not? Oh, we're getting attacked. Shit. I didn't want to get into that. So our stuff are being... So hold spacebar in order to attack. And once you hold spacebar, your guy is gonna use your weapon in order to attack the enemies here. Now, unfortunately, we sustain some damage to our stuff, and we can fix that easily. I take it back. We cannot craft the repair kit yet. Anyway, they are still functioning. They are not destroyed, which is okay for now. I didn't want to get into fighting or combat for now, but anyway, you just hold spacebar to shoot, and if you do it right now, he's not going to shoot because there is nothing to shoot. But essentially, spacebar just lets you shoot. Okay, so the next problem that we are facing right now is, of course, this. When these run out of coal, there will be no coal like mining, and there will be no coal going to the production there for our electricity. A major flaw that we're not going to worry about right now. In order to fix this, and the next step in our progression is to actually build the lab. So the lab needs copper. Luckily, we've been one step ahead of this, and we have been getting copper right here. It looks like it's full, and this is why we are getting copper right now. This one is out of coal. Alright, so I'm gonna let a lab just craft in my inventory because it needs a bunch of things. So just let it cook for now. And I am going to let you know why we need the lab right now. Okay. So now, once we do that, you can see that the automation science pack is available. Okay. Because we have the science pack right now, the way this works is that your labs is used to research more technology. The more labs you have, the faster this research is. So I'm actually going to build a bunch of labs. Okay. So the labs actually use electricity. So this is why you need to get electricity first. And this is why also you need to put them next to the pole right here, like in its range, so that it can be powered by electricity. So when you put it right here and here, next to these, you will see that we don't have anything researching right now, but I just want to grab like the extra ones that we crafted, like here. Now I'm gonna do something that you might not understand yet, but I'll explain this once we get to it. Okay, next I'm gonna build some inserters. I'm gonna need a bunch of inserters, so I don't mind like building stuff over a lot of them. Okay, so now we have 4, which is decent. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some inserters, and then I'm gonna put them in between. So what is this doing is essentially... oh, no electricity here. Okay, we can fill the gaps with one more. So what's going to happen is, in order for research to work, research takes stuff. Or takes a resource. Now, these resources are called science packs, which is this potion right here. So, for example, we can start researching electric mining drill. Now, do you remember the problem that we have right here? These drills needing coal in order to mine coal, in order to send coal to our electricity production. This problem is solvable by having electric mining drills, which do not use coal but instead use electricity, which is the very first thing that we are going to research. Now you can see here, by double clicking on it, it is added to the queue right now. It costs 10 science pack, or sorry, 1 science pack per 10 seconds, and then they need 25 of them. So it's going to take, I think, 250 seconds total, which means we need 25 total science packs. Okay, so the way it's going to work is you can build science packs in your inventory, which you have to do right now, like at the start anyway. And then the idea to automate research later on is that you want to craft or to make the ingredients to craft the science packs automatically, and then manufacture them automatically, and then move them into the labs automatically. And I put these inserters in between them because I want this to be as the input for the science packs, and then science packs are going to be split evenly between all of these labs. This will make more sense once we actually start putting some science labs. So once you click on the lab right here, you can just shift click on these, and now look at what's gonna happen. So you can see now how the inserters are just spreading the science labs between... Oh shit. Oh boy, we are getting attacked way often than I like. We lost one of these, okay. Maybe let's put one here, and then let's just do that. Well, whatever. It's okay. It's okay. For now, we could just live with it. And the next thing we're gonna research is going to be the gun turret, which is a turret that you can place, and it's gonna shoot any enemy that come in range, but you have to stock it with ammo, which is also something that we are going to solve very, very soon. Since we're talking about base management and protection, I'm gonna go check on my stone production because I see it missing fuel, so I'm gonna go back to grab some coal. Because we are going to need a bunch of stone in order to build walls around our base in order to protect it from random attacks like that. I think we are getting attacked right now. No, okay. It's gonna give you a warning here if you're getting attacked. I just saw this little red dot moving, so I thought it's coming in for an attack. Let's make sure we're stacking on stone here. Now you can see the science packs are being crafted in our inventory. And if your labs run out of science packs, they will stop researching. You will notice here the researching bar going here. So just keep an eye out on it because you might forget about it and you find that your research is not actually advancing. You can queue research items. So let's actually queue the gun turret and then the repair pack and then the military, logistics and radar. So let's like queue everything that needs red science packs. I just take breaks in between because talking a lot makes me tired, you know. So right now we're almost ready with the electric mining drill. And we're probably gonna need to get some electricity to it. So I'm gonna put like a pole right here. And we are going to start building electric mining drills. If you have something that is in queue, it's blocking your electric mining drill here, I can click on, like right click on the thing that is crafting in order to cancel it. And you're gonna get refunded the items, don't worry. So this is why I put these inserters, because any science pack that I put here, I don't want to like go manually and put science packs in each lab. All science labs can go in here and then they will be split between all of them. Okay, now I'm gonna build some more mining drills. Now you can see the mining drill is a little bit bigger, but also the yellow arrow shows where you're gonna be mining. So right now, I'm only gonna build one. So leave me alone. We need this gun turret like right now. Oh, we canceled the research. Okay, so this is one of the problems that I was talking about. Now, do you see here that I kept left clicking? This is actually good in my situation. I want the science packs to be built quickly. If I shift clicked, it's gonna first build all or craft all the requirements. So it's gonna craft all the iron gears first and then give me the science packs. But I don't want that. I actually want the science packs to be built like fast, because I do want the gun turret to be finished ASAP, so I can just keep feeding the science or the labs with automation science packs, and instead of having to wait for the entire iron gears first. But since we're getting attacked heavily, I'm just gonna build one right now, and I'm gonna build some ammo as well. So right here, let's grab this, and then you can put it like anywhere. I'm gonna put it, I think here is good. And then we can click on it, it takes ammo. And our ammo is at the bottom right here. So let's just give it a bunch of ammo here. That's gonna take care of us. The gun turrets are really good. And they're gonna take care of us. Now, since we're talking about combat in here, you can see that this is what is called the spitter spawner. These are called spitters, these little things that like come attack us. So you do have biters. I think you do have spitters, I assume. But anyway, this thing, it just spawns. Oh, now they latched onto me. They are aggroed. We're gonna drag them into our gun turret. And then you can see the gun turret is just gonna farm them. The problem is this thing will keep spawning, so we actually need to go and destroy it. But once we go fight it, you can see that it's gonna like attack us, and it could spawn some dudes that will Like this spitter attack creates a ground hazard that if you step on... Oh, I'm out of ammo. Okay. If you step on, you're gonna take some damage. You automatically heal, but it takes some time and you can easily die. So be careful about that. So now we are relatively safe because... because we have the gun turret. Now, something that I did not mention, when you right click over something you want to craft, you're going to craft 5 of them. So that way you can be like a bit quicker than waiting for every single one of them to craft. Okay? Now, our next big thing to do is actually automating iron production. In order to automate iron production, we're going to need belts in order to put miners, put them on the belt. And then from the belt, we need to put a bunch of furnaces because we're going to need to scale up essentially. And this is very basic and is really good to get started. But once you actually want to scale up, things are going to be pretty hard. And in order to do that, this is when you start actually thinking about the architecture and the design of your factory, because your factory can very, very quickly become a spaghetti factory. If you're familiar with the term spaghetti code, like messy code that you just like everything is unorganized and it's just messy, it's called spaghetti code. Your factory can get spaghetti or whatever pretty fast. And in order to fix that, you might want to put like at least... You're going to change your factory a lot, by the way, and re-optimize based on new technologies that you unlock. But you just want to know that your factory is going to be big and it's going to change a lot. Okay. Now, honestly, I'm still a bit worried about the little spawner here. And you can actually see it's getting bigger, like it spawns some more biters here. And we'll always like constantly be in trouble. So I'll show you what we're gonna do right now. We're actually gonna do something pretty good. Okay, so we built some okay, so what I did here, I built a repair pack and then I made it like I hold it in my hand. I hold over any item that is damaged, and this is gonna use the repair kit in order to fix that building or item or whatever. Not items. I don't think items break in the game. We are out of science packs. Okay, so now it's time to solve the problem of these spawners. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to pick the turret, and I'm going to keep advancing with the turret itself. Like that. And then the more I advance with the turret, the only problem is you're going to have to like rearm the turret every time you deploy it. So this is the problem. Like sometimes you can see that they're very, very fast, and sometimes you just don't get enough time in order to do that. But essentially, if you have like multiple gun turrets, we could easily do that. And also you can use like the time between the spawner spawning. So we can just advance like that and then do this. Okay, so now this is attacking the gun turret. And right now, yeah, you can see now we have full control over the situation. So this is like a funny trick that I picked up. All you can do now is just sit behind the turret and just keep fixing it. It is out of ammo. Oh no. Alright. Cool. So right now, because we destroyed the spawner, we will not be getting attacked from this spawner anymore, which is cool. So now we are relatively safe from, at least from these attackers, but you're never safe in this game. That's why we're gonna keep the turret up just in case we have to run around. Now, I'm researching military, which is gonna give me access to more guns, or like bigger guns, better guns, you know. Alright, so I was speaking about scaling our iron production before we decided to take some fight. And just from the basic architecture that I can think of, we do have copper here, which we're also gonna automate. And we do have iron here, so I'm gonna guess we can put like a furnace area around here. And then we could put like some, like a furnace area which we can expand easily. And we're gonna bring iron to it. So the way I like to do that is actually design it from design it backwards. You can see now that we unlocked the submachine gun, which is very, very good. I moved my gun to the second slot here, which is not gonna be my primary gun. It's gonna like be stashed or holstered. And then whenever I get the submachine gun, it's gonna go into my primary, hopefully. Yes. And now I have a submachine gun, which has a much higher, a much faster fire rate, which is going to be like much better. Okay? Much stronger. Alright, cool. We did not unlock the lights yet, or the lamp. Let's unlock the lamp. Focus on stone wall. Radar, we already have that. Fast inserters, it's not really important right now, but we can get physical damage and weapon shooting speed. So these are gonna be like increases to your guns and the gun turrets guns as well. Okay, so what we're doing right now is that we want to build a bunch of furnaces in order to start the automation of iron. Pick up some stone. Actually, that's a lot of stone. I'm gonna put it back in the chest here. I don't want to carry all of that stone. It's not gonna be useful. Okay, so around like the middle area, maybe around here, we can start putting our furnaces. So I'm gonna start with 3 furnaces for each ore. So here is gonna be iron. So I'm gonna just do 1 and then see if I like it, and then I'm gonna copy it for the other one. Okay, so like I mentioned before, I like doing it in reverse. So iron is here. So what I could do is just... By the way, if you hold right click on any item, you can pick it up. I hope I mentioned that before. I think I did at the beginning. So here there's a gap. We could just fill it like that and then put in the... belts. And this is why, like I told you, you're gonna need to build a lot of belts. Let's pick these up because these are unnecessary anymore. Or you could leave them. Honestly, you could just leave him. Like, do you see how we have a lot of raw ore? We could just let him cook for now, like that. Okay. Now, I do need to get logistics done because I'm gonna use logistics in some stuff. Okay, now I'm gonna build electric mining drills because I don't want to use coal for mining. So this is why we need electricity, and we already have electricity right here. Boom. There we go. So now we have the drills drilling for some stuff, and then here I can put inserters, which I need to make 1 more since we have 3. Let's make a bunch more. Now inserters, as you know, they need electricity, so we're gonna need to bring electricity here as well, but we can just do it like that, that, and that. get some stuff here. So now you can see here that the inserters are grabbing. Let's actually put this one away so they are... Oh, no, the same. And we have logistics right here, which is cool. We're going to be using these in a sec. Cool. So are we making inserters? We're not making inserters yet. Now we are making inserters, and we can add... Oh, 3. We need to put the item here. Give me that. So now they're not putting the iron ore. If you're wondering why they're not putting the raw ore, that's because I already put a bunch of raw ore inside each one of them. So this is why they're not being put from here. Now, the question is now, in order for the furnace to work, you actually need to have coal as the resource, right? Like as the fuel. How are we gonna do that? Super simple. We could, like your first instinct is just to get another, like another belt and then cross it and just put it. Okay, but you can start to see how it's becoming a problem. Maybe make it walk like aligned like that. But if you do that, this is not gonna pick it up. Like this inserter is not gonna pick it up. So we have two solutions for this. Actually, there is what is known as a long hand inserter, which we don't even have this locked, or we don't have this unlocked yet. Where is it? It is in one of the upgrades here that you have. Anyway, just trust me. So the other thing is, what if we could make coal walk on the same lane as the iron ore? So now both the iron ore and the coal will be walking on the same belt, which is why, by the way, the belt has two sides. And that way one inserter can add both iron and coal to the furnaces. Okay, how can we do that? Actually pretty simple. This is why we made logistics, by the way. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to there are two ways that we can do this, and this is why I'm like starting to think of it. I wanna leave this thing, and I'm gonna show you why. I wanna leave this thing as only coal, because this will be our main energy or like electricity production. You don't want to ever run out of energy. This is why I'm gonna make both lanes actually provide coal to my electricity production, so that way I don't have to think about it again. And now both of these will just be mining coal. This line, this production line, will only be for coal. Okay, now I'm gonna make another production line like that, and I'm gonna stop here for a sec. And this production line is going to be for coal that will actually be used for our factory. Looking for the miner drills, the mining drills, the electricity ones. So like that. Okay, so let's put one here. And I'm gonna show you a bunch of tricks here, so wake up if you're sleeping. Now I want you to see here that we are providing now coal on both sides of the belt. Okay, now look at this. Once you start crossing an object like that, you can see that it's missing underground belt. I don't know if you noticed that. Missing underground belt. Now watch this. You can make belts go under an obstacle by building underground belts. Okay, I'm gonna build a bunch of these. And now notice, You can actually set the build yourself by making like the entrance here and the out here. So all of these below are built. But you can do what you can do is you can even forget about it, and then once you get into an obstacle, it's gonna be built automatically for you. Okay. Awesome. By the way, I can walk over items on builds and hold F in order to pick them up. So this is why I had a bunch of coal here, interfering with the iron. This is why I just picked it up. Now you can see here that both of these, both of the lanes having, or both of the lanes have coal in them, which is, we don't want that. We want coal to be on one side of the belt because we want that to walk on alongside the coal or the iron ore right here, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna use a splitter. So let's build a few splitters here. Actually, let me show you something. Do you see here what's happening? So even though we have both of them, because only this lane, like we are producing the product into this lane, the empty lane, it can just walk normally onto the like right next to the iron, and it's not gonna interfere and go gonna go into the iron lane right here, because both of sides of this belt are producing in the same lane right here, which is the right lane of the iron ore. So that way we now have both iron and coal on the same lane, and our iron production is almost fully automated right now. Although the problem that we have right now is that whenever these furnaces get to 100, they will stop working because that's the maximum they can have. So just for now, I'm gonna build 3 iron chests and put them behind here, and then I'm gonna use inserters to grab the product from these furnaces and store it into the chests right here. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna do something better. Since we'll already be using this in the future, I'll show you what we can do right now. I'm gonna put like a bunch of belts right here, and then we're already out of belts. That's sad. Let's build a few. Now, I'll show you what we are going to do right now. Actually, can we take this one further? No. Okay, what about here? So here, and then we can add one here. Yeah. So that way, both of these are gonna have the inserters that I wanna add right here. Right. Next, I'm gonna add one more electricity pole right here. Add the iron chest here. I'll show you why I did that in a sec. And now we're gonna just keep adding all the iron ore or the iron plates from this to this chest. Okay. Let's actually do something better just to set it up for the future. I know I keep changing a lot, and this is literally just a game. You will keep changing and optimizing the factory for as much as you can. I'm gonna show you why I did that. Now we have a lane, or like a what is this called? A belt, like a lane of belts that has iron ore or iron plates being fully automated. While we're doing that, I want you to remember this that we have right here. We do have a bunch of coal production here. Does that mean that every time we need to add coal, for example, I think it's best to speak with an example here. We want to also automate copper production here, right? Does that mean that we're gonna need to take another coal lane in order to grab, in order to automate our copper production? That feels like a bit much, and every time we need coal, we're gonna need to add a new line. Actually, no, and I do not recommend that for a bunch of reasons. But the thing that I want to show you is that you can use a splitter Like for example, we can use a splitter. It's because we have this right that. So I'm gonna move this a bit here, and then I'm gonna use a splitter like around here, like that. Watch this, and now you can see now that I put it in the wrong direction. So you can see now what the splitter is doing. The splitter is just splitting whatever item is coming to it into 2 lanes, and now this lane is going to go for iron, and then I can use this lane for whatever else that I want. Okay, so this is the idea of, or this is why, one of the main reasons that I wanted to have logistics up and running. Let's add just these researches over here because we are going to need a bunch of them. Now we unlocked long-handed inserter. This is what I was telling you about. If you want to have like 2 columns, you can see now the 2-handed inserter is actually 1 further. So this is actually gonna grab. So if I put it like right here, it will actually be grabbing the 2nd lane right here. Okay, so we can use this if you want to use 2 lanes of stuff. But I usually don't do that. I usually just put both of these on 1 lane like that, so we can save some space. But there are, I'm not going to say this is the right way. I'm not saying this is the right way. I'm saying this is one of the ways. Okay. Now you will notice that we have a bunch of iron and iron ore and coal in here. A lot more than we can cook, right? So this is very easy. And this is why we can extend these things pretty easily by just adding more furnaces, more inserters like that. And boom, we just increased our iron production. Like our iron cooking speed. We can even expand this way, and then we can expand this way, and we can expand this way. So you can see now why architecture and just having things planned in mind is very important in this game. Now I've been going at this video for 1 hour. I don't want everything to be shown in one video because that's impossible. But I'm gonna call it like I'm gonna stop here and call it a video, or essentially, technically, this is a stream, by the way. So if you ever wanna watch me stream and do these things live, feel free to jump on my YouTube streams. I do not stream on Twitch or anything like that. All of my presence is on YouTube. So I'm gonna say that this is a video. This is really good as introduction. In the next, I guess we're gonna call this like a, I'm not sure if it's a let's play or something because I'm explaining everything as I go. But essentially, next time we are going to be automating our copper. And we are also going to be starting to add some defenses in our base by building some walls and cool stuff like that. Right now we feel pretty safe because we took the spawner here early on. But you're still never safe because you will get attacked from the edge of the map for as long as the spawners live. The more items and the more pollution you provide to the world or to the planet, the more intense the attacks are going to be. So this is why do not destroy all of the trees, or do not just go crazy on the trees early on, because trees actually decrease the pollution that you provide or that you cause with your production and factories and stuff like that. And whenever you destroy them, your pollution just starts stacking up and you get attacked even more and even harder. So this is why I keep the trees. And yeah, in the next video or in the next, I don't know what to call it, episode, let's play, whatever, next time we will just be talking about like we'll be setting up our copper automation and we'll be setting up some defenses, and we'll see what happens from there. Thank you for watching, and I will see ya in the next video. See ya.